Hey, just want to give you a quick run through of what you can expect when you're first getting started in Figma. The first time you load up, you're going to see this recently viewed page. You'll actually see this every time you load it, but the first time you'll have a few sample files and that's it. These sample files are things that we put in there because we think they're helpful for users to get them started. If you don't like them, you can delete them. You can use them however you want. You can duplicate them. You can share them. You can do whatever. Besides that, you can create a new file here, which will be generated in your drafts project, which is your default. I'll get to that in just a second. Or you can drag in a sketch project. It takes just a minute to load the preview, but it'll show up in just a minute. You've got your deleted files. You've got a search bar that lets you filter down just by inputting some text. You've also got, this is your personal view. This shows you all of your personal projects. I created a couple, and just to show you, favorites show up in the sidebar here. So if I unstar that, it goes away. If I start this one, it shows up. This is a team. You can create new teams by coming down here and clicking new team. Just name it whatever you want. And it creates a new team. You can invite people by email, or you can authorize it with Slack. And everyone in that Slack team will have access based on your own privacy settings. Inside those teams, you can create new projects. I created a little project in this getting started one already, just so I can show you how it works. Again, if you click the star icon, it'll show up in the sidebar. If not, it hides. So if something is missing from the sidebar, just click on the team name and you'll see all the projects within that team. Now, inside each project, you can create files. By default, it's going to be in your drafts folder. If you start a new file in a different project, then it will default to that project. So now I've created a file. First thing you notice will be the toolbar. It has all the basic tools you'd expect: move, scale, frame, slice, all your shape tools, pen tool, a text tool. You've got place image, you've got comments. Up here in the middle where the title is, you could just click to retitle it. So just call that tutorial. You can see all the version history of it. You can duplicate it, you can rename it, you can delete it, and you can go back to the file view. Over here, you'll see everyone that is in the file right now. This is just the Figma demo account, so that's the only person in here. If someone else joins this file, or if I join it from another window or another device, you'll see those pop up right up here as well. Right next to that, you've got all your sharing preferences. So you can turn off public access, or you can make it editable to anyone with the link. You can add people by email and give them permissions right in line, or you can just copy the link to this file. Next up, you've got some view settings, you've got your zoom level, and then you've got an export pane that lets you see all of the exportable assets in the file. Right below that, you have the inspector, which shows you all the properties of whatever you have selected at the time. Since there's nothing in this file yet, it just selects the canvas, gives you some information about the pixel preview, and then shows you whether or not the entire file by itself is exportable. If I create something in this file, say a frame, I can select what kind of frame it is by default. So I'll just choose an iPhone 7, it's a good default. Once I create the artboard, it'll give me some good information about what it is. So if it is a specific device and I can change that, I can change the orientation. It'll show me where it is in the canvas, its dimensions, rotation, things like that. A bunch of good little details in here. I'll go through those in a future video. Down here at the bottom, you've got feedback. That's just an intercom window that lets you talk directly to us. So if you have any questions after this video, that's where to go next. You get some contextual buttons up here, which let you control what you do with the object you have selected. Some of these are grayed out based on what kind of object it is. For example, you can't use a frame as a mask because it already is one. Over here on the left, you have a layer palette. This is very similar to most other layer palettes that you've dealt with. If you draw a shape inside a frame, it is nested inside that frame. If you drag it out, it becomes unnested. See that change in the sidebar. With different types of layers, again, you get different properties. You can edit the object, so you can move different points. You can create a component. You can use it as a mask. You can do a bunch of stuff with them. Anyway, that's the basics of getting started in Figma. If you have any questions, again, come down here to the feedback button and you can ask us questions directly. Thanks.